Do-do. El momente. I need to give me. Come on. Stop it. Unsupported resolution. Not supported for configuration. The expected resolution. Well, I'm sorry, YouTube. They're yelling at me. Promote live stream. I'm now live. Promo. No. Promotion. Post promotion. Control B. Live for my stream. And okay. So, camera's working. It's still delayed. I know it's a known issue. Give me a few weeks. A few more weeks of this, and hopefully I can get us a better option. Alright, and I'm going to apologize. Hey there, Dave. In advance, I'm going to apologize because it's one of those nights where my nose just hates me. Oh, thank you, Dave. Thank you for adding everyone or mentioning everyone. So, I don't know if you guys remember my first live stream. I got some unexpected packages in my mail. That was almost a month and a half ago. I believe after a month and a half of no one coming to pick them up from UPS or the guy or Sears wanting to do anything with these packages, I guess they fall under my property. So, we're going to open those at some point tonight. Hey, Farmer Brad. But I did try to do the right thing. I reached out to UPS. I reached out to Lowe's. I don't know how to find the person who bought these. So, I tried. But we'll open them here once we get into it a little bit. I gotta get my knife, actually. If I didn't throw my knife on top of them. But yeah, it was fun. I was running a little late today for work reasons. I was getting yelled at for trying to ask questions, and then whenever I did ask questions, I would be told, I don't have time, just figure it out, just figure it out, just figure it out. When I didn't figure it out, and I told them, hey, I never figured this out, they said, okay, well, we'll just submit this. And then now that it's wrong, they're mad that I never asked questions, I never tried to ask questions, I never figured out what was going on in an area on a job. I tried, but hey, you didn't want to take time to answer my questions. You just want to tell me to figure it out and get out of the, to stop bothering you with it. I don't know what more you want me to do. If you don't want to answer my questions, I can't help you there. I can give it a shot and take a guess on what happens in an area, but if you don't want to help me with it, software tech. Yeah, it's just a bunch of BS. A bunch of stuff gets blamed on me all the time because I don't know what I'm doing. I try to ask questions and I just get told figure it out. when I try to ask questions, and then they get mad that I didn't ask questions. This is why I no longer work with others. Yeah. If I had that option, I really, the only reason I stay at this job is the opportunity to go back to the shop. I know it's not going to happen, but I have hopes and dreams, and I just hope. I can play well with others. It's just a matter of others not wanting to guide me in the correct direction of what needs to be done. I need some. I mean, I'm relative. I mean, I kind of know what I'm doing most of the time, but in certain complex situations, and I don't know what's being going on, I need a little bit of guidance. Unnice people are idiots. Conflict. Yeah. See, I wouldn't mind doing remote work if I was able, to regularly talk with the people, that I'm doing remote work with. I'd honestly love just working from home. It would be amazing. But at the same time, I feel like someone would get annoyed by answering emails. Because I'm one of those people that ask a lot of questions. If I don't understand something, I'll ask a lot of questions to make sure I understand it. But, so, update on the CNC that I unboxed last week. I'm one more frustrating email away from just throwing it all together loosely in the box they shipped it in and mailing it back to China and getting a refund and ordering it from another supplier. My God, are these people frustrating. Awesome, try to figure out how. Yeah. But, just be here watching on our TV, the audio mid about a second or two behind. I'm aware of this problem, Du Bois. It's an issue with the way I have to use my phone as a webcam because sometimes I want to show something on my screen over here, but I can't do that if I'm using my phone. So I use my phone as a webcam, and it creates this really strange delay. I don't understand it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the CNC last week. Let's start with that fun story. So right after my stream, I went up and I started to assemble the CNC. Everything. I started unpacking everything. I was describing each piece that comes in the set, and then I got to the set of parts that I opened. Technically, I opened first, but should have been seen last because they packaged it upside down. And I noticed that all of the plastic pieces in that slot were severely scratched. So Thursday morning, I sent an email out to the seller. They give a direct link, a direct email to email them if you have problems, instead of emailing them through Amazon, which I might try to do after this too. But I email them. I tell them my issues, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, sure. Ask if I can get a partial refund." They say, "Well, if you want, we can send replacement parts." And I was like, "That's fine too. If they want to send replacement parts," but they also asked for my order number. I gave them my order number, and I said, "Replacement parts are fine. If that's what they want to do, send replacement parts." And I'm in a Facebook group for this machine specifically, and I was reading while I was waiting in between emails that this seller has a tendency, if you get replacement parts, they just send you a new machine. So the parts I have, they work, they're usable, they're just visibly damaged. So in theory, I could actually be running 2 machines if they send a second one, if I don't return it for this. But anyway, they ask for the thing. I give it to them on Friday because they're in China, so there's a 13-hour time difference. They're 13 hours ahead of us. So it takes them a whole day. So when I sent it Friday, that meant that next time they wouldn't be in would be till, Sunday for us. Well, Sunday evening rolls around, I haven't heard back from them. So I send another email, and I ask, hey, I haven't heard back from you since I sent my order number. What's going on with my order? And they email me, sorry, can you send us your order number? Send them the order number. Thanks for sending us your order number. Can you please describe what's wrong with the machine and maybe send pictures? What I did in my first email. Okay. Yesterday morning, I emailed them the pictures. I re-emailed them that. And then this morning, when I got out of my email, they sent me the email, hi, can you please send out your order number? Very frustrated at this point, I yelled at them. I told them if they don't fix this in the next few emails, I'm just going to return the machine and leave them a bad Amazon review for the machine and a bad Amazon seller review. And I told them, I gave them all the information. I sent them all the pictures again. I sent them what was wrong with them. I sent the order number, all in one email. And then I also took screenshots of all of our previous emails and said, here are all our previous emails where I've sent this twice before. Because I'm very frustrated with the fact that I've been emailing them for a week and have gotten nowhere. Gotta love it. Well, hi everyone. Had this happen a few times too. Yeah, no, it's the whole, just Chinese sellers are they're not fun to deal with. Be fun. Hey, Leanna. But yeah, so that's the update on the saga of the CNC. So also, in some exciting news, my girlfriend got a new job today. So she hopefully starts that not this coming Monday, but the following Monday. And hopefully that'll be going great for her. Last 2 weeks. But so what else this week? I'm having trouble thinking. The furnace just kicked on. Quick announcement for some hold on, let me open it up here on Discord. Member project, no. Bill contest. Okay. Let me set something up. I'm gonna do screen share here real quick. Customer service, display capture. Oh, yep. There you go. Let's go. So over on the Woodworking on Steam Discord, we are running a build contest for the month of March. And then the week following, we will be doing voting on the winner. So we have our roles posted here. And then this week we're doing a theme that I sort of gotten from content creators. It's going to be Take a Seat. And we are going to pretty much any sittable object that you can just make something to sit on. That's all it is. And pretty much the winner will get a $20 via PayPal for the winter. I know it's not much, but me and another mod are splitting that out of our personal pockets. So just keep that in mind. We would like to compensate the winner with some money for winning. So if you're interested, I believe I have a link in my description for the Woodworking on Steam Discord. I'm going to double check that right now once I switch back to Facecam here. Turn that off. Prior customer service issue. Oh, the CNC. I wonder if said prior to now how I had to beat up the camera batteries. Exactly working now. By the way. Oh, okay. You're talking about Leon's camera. Yeah, let me know how that is working for you. I remember you were having issues with the battery and whatnot on your camera. I just want to make sure I have something in my description. Woodworking on Steam, yeah. So if you guys are interested in that, if you want to make do the take a seat thing for Woodworking on Steam and possibly win $20, feel free to join the Discord and enter into that. All you have to do is submit some photos of your work, as long as it's woodworking related. It qualifies. I'm going to be actually making a video on that, hopefully this week, to put up on our actual Woodworking on Steam Facebook, or not Facebook, well, yeah, Facebook and YouTube pages, hopefully. Also this week, I started working on my Santa review. It's still up on my workbench. I'm afraid to tilt the camera, but I will do it anyway. Please don't disconnect. That's all I have to say. It's still up here, but I haven't moved it. Back up. Alright. Now, Cody, I won't say it's the best thing in the world. Yeah, well, I mean, if it's better. That's like the CNC. It's not meant to be the best CNC in the world, but for $300, it's a fine machine. That's something I want to do this week. Is I want to start tracking expenses. Now that I have this, I want to start tracking expenses on things that I spend for shop-related purchases. Then tracking how much I spend on projects and how much I'm selling projects for exactly, as well as a spreadsheet for time investments into this stuff. Just for fun tracking, some data research. What time is it? Oh, yeah, it's that being late, coming home from late from work really screwed me here. But I don't think I have any more fun stories this week. I've just been dealing with the annoying seller on I can't think what it's called. Amazon. Yeah. Track dollars if you're going to sell. Yeah, that's kind of the goal of the CNC is I want to, it's not going to be a super duper workhorse, but it saves me, the idea of it was to save me the trips to the shop by running it all week. It'll run much slower, but if I go to the shop, say I buy a 1x8 or, something like that at the local hardware store, and I go on the weekend, throw it up on the machine, cut out a whole bunch of sign blanks, and then I can bring them home for the week to run signs on the CNC here. My only concern I've had with it by looking into on the Facebook page is there was a guy, he said he's been running it every day for 4 months, 3 or 4 months, for about 3 to 5 hours a day, and he's starting to burn up the stepper motors. So they're not super expensive, but it sounds like they need to be replaced frequently if you're going to be using it heavy duty to make stuff like that. So hopefully we'll see how mine holds up and lasts. if I don't get mad and send it back to China and order a new one. I already started assembling it, and I just got new screws for it, so that was another ordeal. I have a piece of paper and a pencil. This works better. Get my little notebook out here, and I'm going to do a little hand sketch for you. So you know what I'm talking about when I say these pillar blocks, these linear bearing blocks. They have a shape, something. Okay, so these linear bearing blocks have a shape, something like this. Let me see. Wait for this to pop up. They're real small. I said it's a small drawing. But my issue is those this bottom here, right there, is supposed to be flat. But mine are shaped like, I'm going to draw it bigger this time. Get a little drawing with me here. Mine are shaped like this, and they're flanged up. And this connects to the bottom of the router table, and the screws would go down in here. That's where where it flanges out. That's where the screws go. So whenever I'm connecting this to the bottom of the router table, the screws they sent aren't long enough. I had to order new screws for it. So that was another fun thing. Hold on. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, sorry. But yeah, that's I got those screws last night, but I didn't get to start working on that. I want to put that together. I was thinking about doing it live on the stream, but I get these to open tonight, and we're going to open these now because I want to run out of time real quickly here because I want to get off before. Is the Bearded Woodworker doing a stream tonight? I haven't seen his thing pop up on content creators the last few weeks. So I'm not sure if he was taking a break or if he moved another night. I just haven't seen him there. Creating my own music. Let's play Pictionary. You know, there is an online version. It's sort of like Pictionary. Oops. Also, I cut a straight line down the tape. Come on. All right. So that's what I'm not necessary for sure on the giant. Cool. I get to see that red right on top there. Well, that's popped already. Inflate it a little bit more so I don't take space up on my trash can. That is exactly what I thought was in here, and I'm very excited. Oh, here's everything else. I was gonna be a little concerned. Okay. So. What was I say? There's supposed to be a lot more. Oh. I want to save the big item that's in here for last. He's been laying low on the regular live show for a bit. All right, that's fine. Well, I'll go a little bit longer then. So. I'll go with the least exciting things first in this set. In this box. I got a new bit insert set. All kinds of different little bits. I know lighting's not great. I need my. That's another thing. My landlord still hasn't replaced my light this week, so I'm on him about that. But yeah, it has a little bit of everything. I know I have about 5 sets of stuff like this. I got a pin punch. I got that. I got something I'm a big fan of. A whole new hex set. Bunch of new Allen keys. Nice big ones too. So got that. I think I have another set of these somewhere, but these ones definitely are longer, which I like. And the last small item I got here, nut driver set. I don't have one of these, so I'm content with that. And this stuff's all Craftsman brand, by the way, too. It is all 100% Craftsman. So, now the big item. Let's go over. The big item here that I'm most excited about in this box, and I can get this thing off my okay. My ceiling's not tall enough. Boom. A Craftsman air tool kit. Comes with a hose, impact gun, a couple other little bits there. So now my issue is I just don't have the air compressor working for it. But hey, I didn't have to pay for it. Yeah, no. Yeah, you see this? I just smacked my head off it like 3 times. I'm surprised that the furnace guys didn't break this bulb. That out the way. So that is all my goodies I got. Sap too much snow. Syrup. Then I got this drawer organizer, this little bench, stool seat, whatever you want to call it. I thought there were 2 punches. I'll have to double check the mailing slip. Double check the box too, but now this one, I didn't even try to open this whenever it popped up on my porch. Someone else tried to open this, apparently. The tape's all cut open. The whole thing's just, it was opened. I don't know who got to it. Come on. Bend under the light. There you go. And it would appear that it might be some assembly required. No. Thank you. That means I'm just going to put this down on the ground. Oh, no, there's some assembly required here. So, I got that. I'm not going to assemble it here because I don't have room. Not with my sander on the table. Sapkins. No, Dave, I actually have a plan for a take your seat build. It is going to be a multifunctional thing because it's going to be a stool that can also be used as a table, a cat perch, and a cat scratching post, depending on when it's being used. If you're just doing bit, you call, okay. Depends on whether it's, yeah, you guys are all talking about, I don't know much about syrup, so I can't help you with any of that. But hey, I got some free tools. I'm excited. I got to put these away and sort them away. the number of times I've needed a pin punch, but I've just been too cheap to buy one. I have a reamer that I use as a pin punch all the time. I'm just like, I don't have a pin punch. I'm gonna grab my reamer. Works great. And it's actually, you guys are talking about how you guys been freezing. It's the last few mornings. It warmed up last week. It was nice and warm. It's supposed to be warm this weekend, but then it drops dramatically. I don't know how the weather's been for you guys, but for me, it drops very quickly. Like Monday morning, it was probably 20 degrees out. And I needed to go get gas, but my paycheck didn't go in my bank account yet, so I couldn't get gas. So I get to work and I find out, the guy forgot to approve the office pay, so they told me, it'll be in later today. Wasn't in later today. It wasn't until next morning. And the next morning felt like it was 4 degrees, felt like -7, and I had to pump gas, and I didn't realize how cold it was because the previous day it was nice and warm, and I was like, it'll be just about the same. No. I put my heavy coat on, but I didn't have my gloves. I don't know where my gloves are. So I had to pump gas, and the wind just blew right through my heavy coat. It was great. 14 degrees. Yeah, that's rough. It's been low 20s today for the high. It was low 20s for the high yesterday too, but the mornings are just freezing. Minus here last. Oof. That's sustaining weather. I hope the weather levels out. I could be hauling about this weekend. This weekend here it is supposed to be nicer. It's supposed to be like 48 for a high Saturday, and then Sunday it is supposed to be in the 50s, but unfortunately rainy. As of last night when I checked, the weather just snaps so frequently here that you can't predict it accurately. It's unfortunate. Sunday by 20. But yeah, so this week, my plans for this week are, I want to finish up the Sander review. I want to do that. I want to get that out. I want to be done with it. I want that because I want the Sander right now. I want it off my table. I want to do the review because I have all these pieces back here that need sanded. So I'm just kind of using the opportunity to sand these as part of that review, and also it takes the sanding out of the video for that. And I find that to be a win-win. Because I don't have to say in the video, hey, I took this to the sander. You'll see in the sander review that I took that to the sander. So I have that to do. I'm going to try and get this CNC sorted out. I spent the CNC in general is supposed to take about an hour or so to put together, give or take. I've spent about an hour and a half on it so far, and an hour of that was just trying to get the table, the bed, onto the machine, and I can't do that because my pillar blocks are warped. It took me an hour of fighting and struggling and trying to find creative ways to get it on there. And I have it all on video, but once I get to that part, I'm just going to make a quick little segment and say, hey, yeah, well, I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get this on until I realized these parts are warped and I'm not getting it on. So, because I'm okay with doing time-lapse videos, but I'm not going to time-lapse me trying to figure something out that's not going to work. This does not make sense. Make that 2 weeks. What else do I have this week? So I want to do Santa review. I want to do the CNC build, and then I want to run this weekend because I was having some issues tonight with this. I want to run my 75 foot Ethernet cord that I got the other week. I want to run it down here, down through the rafters to this area ish. So how long? Yeah, 35 minutes. So I got that to do, and then I want to get one thing off of there. I'll turn you around to the Santa. I want one thing off my list here. So adjuster. I want one thing off. I don't know if I want to do the drawer rebuild or the TV risers or the coat rack. But I need something off. I wanted the CNC build off hopefully this week, but I wanted something other than that off. Because my girlfriend keeps tagging me stuff on Facebook she wants me to build. And I told her, let me get my list down here a little bit, because I run out of space on Santa's list. I need a bigger to-do list. Or I need to write smaller. I might just start writing smaller. I think I can fit 4 rows then. Because if I can get the coat rack, which is over here beside me, I'm staring at, not finished still. It'd be very useful if that was done. I can get that done, but I also have a dresser drawer I need to do because she's yelling at me about that too. But I have my coworker yelling at me about his TV risers that are beside me or behind me. Predicament. If you want to call that a honey to-do list, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that she asked me to build that I'm just not building. Like, she wants me to build our cats. She wants me to build a miniature bed for our cats. I said no. I'm not going to build a miniature bed for our cats. That one's not happening. Yeah, we all have a honey to-do list. So your significant other always wants something made at some point. Whenever you make stuff. But oh yeah, I forgot. I was talking about my take a seat video and entry for the woodworking on Steam. That is going to cost $25 if I don't buy a rope for the scratching post part of it. And I think I need 2 rolls of rope, which are $10 each, so another $20 if I want to make it a scratching post as well. So I feel like what I'm going to do is at first it's going to be a stool and cat perch, just no scratching post. That way it's just $25 up front, and that's that. I should have some wood left over still, so I can use that on other things. I don't. I just have a honey to-do list. Lana, you still have a honey to-do list. You are honey. I build things around here. There is only one of me. I need a clone or 2. Yeah, I think we all need clones. I mean, you see my list, and I get pulled away for so many other things that stuff doesn't get done. There's a lot. I just look at this and I'm like, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 projects on there started, and they're at some point of being made. 7 projects on there started at some point being worked on. Oh, there's so many things on that list that aren't on there. Like I can't put learn Fusion 360 on there, or learn X software, because that's also stuff that I have to do, because I have stuff to learn. I have Fusion I can use for just designing in general. I know Kevin at Hope This Works, he just recently did a video on showing off one of his models, and I've learned just from just chatting with him on Content Creators a little bit of some of the things you can do that I had no clue you could do on their software. So it makes me want to learn it more. But I can also use it for CAM software, so I can program it, make programs for the CNC machine. But I'm not sure how well it does with 2D. And that's my kind of concern, because I do a lot of 2D work when it comes to CNC. So I have all that to learn as well. That's I still haven't figured out what program I'm going to be using to program for the CNC machine. I'm thinking of using a program called Easel. It's a free web-based program, and you do everything just in your Google Chrome browser when it comes to my 2D stuff. If I want to do something more advanced, we'll say, I'm going to probably use Fusion 360. It's also free, but it's way more complicated. But I also vaguely know it because I've used 6 other 3D softwares in school and just playing around trying to find free stuff. So it's just one I haven't taken the time to learn. But I think Kevin said in his video, it's one of his videos, or no, he said it on his live stream last night, that it's not generally for the woodworker, but I feel like it is a strong and reliable tool for the average everyday woodworker, considering the fact it is free as long as you don't make, for hobbyists and startup companies, as long as you make less than $100,000 a year. I don't see me making $100,000 a year doing anything in my basement, so I'm happy to take free software, especially software that is that good, because it is a great software. We're at 45-minute mark here. I think I'm gonna call this stream a little early because it's almost 7:15. So, you guys have any want to go over anything else? You want to talk about anything specifically? I think SketchUp won't anything without having to buy. Yeah, SketchUp, you're not allowed to sell anything or make anything when you're using SketchUp technically, unless you pay for it. SketchUp is a little more of a gray area. I mean, you can make drawings, like full set of drawings that you can build something off of, and then you can sell those drawings with Fusion 360, which I didn't realize it had you were able to do the create sheet sets so you can make plans and sell plans off of Fusion 360. I had no idea it was capable of doing that, which I learned this week, and makes me even more happy to learn it. It makes me more eager to learn it, because I went to school for drafting, and that's all I've been doing since high school, is making drawings for people to build stuff off of. That's just kind of what I know. And I actually, on my woodworking on Steam page, there was a guy, he wants to make a quilt rack. And he has no idea how to go about designing something and making plans to build off of or anything like that. And I told him, he sent me a picture of what he wanted to build, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty simple, straight through project that looks pretty easy. It looks pretty simple to build. Illustrator. you have 3D Max. I have never used 3D Max or Illustrator, and I've never been good at drawing, as you've seen from my sketch tonight that I threw in the trash already. I've never been great at hand drawing, but I've had to scan drawings from the 70s and 60s into the computer, and back then you had to be an artist to draw. You had to be an artist to be a draftsman. It was a lot of, I mean, I know they have a lot of tools for tracing stuff, but that takes a lot more time. Fastest way to conceptualize. Yeah, pen and paper. If you just want like a fast little concept, I have a habit of I'll sketch up an idea. If you, Dave, if you go into the take a seat room on content creators, you'll see I just sat down and I sketched up a sketch in another software called Draftit Free actually. I didn't sketch that there originally. Originally, I sketched that up on a piece of paper that's sitting in front of my desk right now, because it was late at night and I was like, oh, here's an idea I have for this quick little build, and I just sketched up the side view of it. So I do pen and paper every now and then for a rough sketch, and then I refine that and get all the information in on AutoCAD, or if I'm at work, I'll do it on AutoCAD, or I want to start putting stuff in Fusion 360. So 3D is more time consuming, but in my opinion, it is always worth it. I need something to help figure out wood lengths and such, pencil and graph paper. Well, if I'm trying to figure out lengths, I prefer to do it in CAD, just because I can make a mistake doing math on pencil and paper. I mean, I'll note dimensions on a pencil and paper, but I will check them in CAD. I have that habit of if I draw something on pencil and paper and then it doesn't work out. That's why I like CAD gives you that visual representation, and in Fusion 360 it can even develop a cut list for you, so you know how many pieces at what length you need of something. It'll tell you how many screws you need if you put in the right amount of screws. It is a very nice program, from my understanding. Full pencil sketches, even 7. The Killer's Notebook collection, conversation notebooks. I have dozens. Stack of black notebooks. See, that's the thing. I bought a notebook just for bringing it down here so I could quickly sketch up something if needed. I have a roll of paper over here that's under a lot of weight, and I'm not going to move it. 24-inch wide paper, I believe. I got from work. They were just throwing it out because the machine stopped taking it for some reason. That one specific roll, for whatever reason, the machine won't take it. So there's like, well, we're gonna throw this out. Do you want it? And I'm like, yes, I want it. I'll take, a quarter of a roll of paper. I mean, what am I going to use it for? I'm not sure. I don't know if I'll use it to cover my bench so it gets less crap on it, or if I'm gonna, use it to draw on. I thought of there's a little table back behind me here. I don't know if I can get out of the way enough. No, that just made it worse. Back where my saw is sitting, there's a table. I wanted to turn that into like a little bit of a drafting table and make like a roll holder for it, but don't think I'm going to do that because that's now my power tool table. I really need to get my big shelf over here built and put together. That way I can get stuff off of here. And then I can also maybe get like my scroll saw and belt sander on the lower shelf. And then I have a little like nightstand that has 2 drawers I want to bring over here that I can set my the miter saw on. Not for use, but just for storage. And then I have 2 additional drawers for storage as well. Free equals good. If you can't use it, give it to a friend that can. Yeah, that's how I always look at it. Like, if you can't use something, unless it's actual trash, just get rid of it. I mean, give it to someone. I mean, I don't throw, if I think something's useful, I'm not going to throw it out. If I just think that I personally am not going to use it, I'll try to find someone else that will take it, but that's how I become a hoarder, and my girlfriend gets mad at me for being a hoarder. I like Dave's outlook on life as he's not a hoarder, he is an inspirational collector. Oops. Oh well. But I'm trying to think if I have anything ordered that I'm waiting on. No. I can't remember if I said this last week, but hopefully. Did I say Dave? I met Kevin. If I said Dave, I definitely met Kevin. I get your names backwards all the time. I have no idea why. I just always want to call Kevin Dave, and I want to call Dave Kevin. Oh, that's just inspirational collecting. Yes, I don't. There's a pile of stuff over there that I'm just inspirational collecting. I have 2 shop lights now. I have no clue what's wrong with them. They don't work. I want to throw them out, but I feel like it's probably a simple fix of something that needs replaced on it. But at the same time, I have these LED ones. I have one behind you. They're $20 each, and you can daisy chain them together. So I can put 1, 2, 3, 4, daisy chain them all together and take out one electrical outlet over here. So it's one of those things that between it's like, do I want to keep these, knowing they might work? Do I want to toss them, or do I want to find someone who actually wants them? But unfortunately, they don't work. And I don't like them because they have, I want to have trouble finding someone who wants them, because they have little 6-inch cords and no actual on-off. You have to unplug it if you want it off and plug it in if you want it on. They are the most annoying things, but I got them from my neighbor, who did use them, and they both worked for him when he had them over there. But for whatever reason, for me, they don't work. I don't see an or future use for it. I don't want it. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like there's a lot of stuff here I don't really want, like those lights, but I feel that someone else can use it, or if I fix it, I feel it can be used later down the road. Like I could, in theory, use those over on the other side of the basement. But my issue is with them, they're always on or they're always off. There's no on-off switch on them. There's no little pull on them. I can't. I have to unplug it or plug it back or unplug it. They're annoying. And I don't remember where I put the one. I only see the one over there. I thought there were 2. I know there is 2 that exist, but I don't know where the one's at. I have to hunt that down now. Fun. So all the time it piles up. I hope he sorts before his time is up. Lol. Yeah, that happens a lot when with people. They collect and collect and collect and collect. That's what happened with my neighbor. He collected and collected and collected and collected all this stuff over many years. And he's to the point where he lives on Social Security. He can't afford to live in the house that he's lived in most of his life. With the Social Security, he can't afford to pay all of his bills. He can't afford to pay his mortgage. He can't afford to pay the car payment, car insurance, all the bills. And with owning the house, he can't get into. He wanted to move out and go on to move into Section 8 housing and get government assisted housing. He can't do that because he owns a house, and if he sold the house, he would have acquired a large sum of money in the past 5 years. So he sold his house and is living. He moved one door down into a rental property where he knows the guy, and the guy's giving him like half rent, charging him like half rent or something like that. So he can afford to live. But he had all this stuff he collected over the years he had to get rid of. I ended up with most of it. He says, every time I come over to your house, I see my house. It's weird. But we love him. Dave is my neighbor. He's great. I love him. He's very helpful. I've gotten so many tools from him over the last 3 years. Lots of information. He's full of information. I love the guy. But yeah, that happens with a lot of people. Is they collect and collect and collect all their life, and then someone else has to get rid of it at some point. It's oof. All right, we're getting close to the hour mark here, and it is 7:30, and I got stuff to do before bed. For those who don't know, I go to bed early and I get up early. I am in bed around 9 o'clock, and I'm up around 4 to 5 o'clock. So, but all right, so I'm gonna get going, guys. I will see you guys next week. I don't know if I'll have a video out this week. That's going to be questionable, dependent on what I get done, when I can get stuff done. So more than likely, it's going to be you're up late and up late. I understand that, Dave. More than likely, it's just going to be next week's stream. I don't see me getting any videos done unless I put out the coat rack, which I'm just nervous about putting that one out, just because it's the video just feels like a wreck, and it's very long and rambly. But that's also because I did a lot. I did not just the coat rack, I did something else in it that I just wanted to pair with the coat rack. So, but all right, I will see you guys next week. I hope you enjoyed. You guys have a great week.